Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we're having a look at yet another wonderful mod, this time in the form of boats, which is being made by user Ethrion, and what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is a series of boats and boat-related items which you can build in the workshop mode to add to your settlements, and I just love that, as frankly, that's one of my favorite parts about the setting of this particular Fallout game, is that we have all these lovely bodies of water and boats within them. It's pretty cool and very different from what we've seen in the past, and so I love the idea that with this mod, I could take a coastal settlement somewhere and perhaps build a small little port town with it, and that just makes me happy. So let's just jump right on into the workshop mode and take a look at what all this does have to offer us. Now we're going to start out in structures, and then under wood and prefabs is where we're going to find the first items here, starting with a large pier shack, which is actually quite a cool building, whether you're actually going to build on the water or just, say, off the side of a small hill like so. It's quite cool. I always love buildings on stilts, so it's a very nice little addition, and quite a large, cool building with a big interior. Very nice indeed. Now, the next thing we have is a small little rowboat, which, as you can see, is clipping into the ground here, but if you use this mod in conjunction with the Build Everywhere mod, or I think it's called Build Anywhere, you can actually build these out on the water so that they actually, you know, make sense. We then also have a small part of a swan boat, another small part of a swan boat, a full swan boat, a small wooden white fishing boat here. I do enjoy. Let's just pop this baby right there. Look at that. It's a gorgeous little boat. Lovely. And then, I believe that's it for this particular tab. Yes, so then on to wood floors, and in here we only have one singular part, and that is additional pier bridges, so that you could build off from this particular pier, and as you did just see there, briefly, excellent, there it goes, they do snap together, so you can build yourself a lovely little pier going in, well, whatever direction you desire. And that should be all in floors. Let me just double check. Yes, we're good to go. Now, the next section of parts are all under structures metal, and we'll start in prefabs again. Oh boy, this is a big one, where we're going to have a black fishing boat, a lovely little thing. We then have another black fishing boat that has more of a mast to the top. As you can see, no mast on this one. That one does have it. We then have a boat shelter, another lovely little building that you could build on the water and, you know, put your boats into. And then, as we move along, we actually have a lovely fishing boat cabin, and I actually quite like the idea of this, because say you're in a settlement nearby the water, you could actually build these and make believe that, well, you found some boats, you just cut off that part there, and now you have a little shack. It's a lovely little thing. I quite enjoy the thought of it. And then we move along, and we have more boats in a red fishing boat that, oh dear lord, there we are, spun around, works, fits in the frame. Then another red fishing boat, again with the mast this time. Then we have the tugboat, which is so large it doesn't really fit into frame at all, but it's, yeah, a giant tugboat with multiple levels. We then have an even bigger tugboat. Oh boy, there we go. Okay. Again, this one has the mast on the top. It's hard to see. Let's see if we can find a place to actually build this darn thing. Oh, it was green there momentarily. Let's, oh god. Oh, we had something for a second. It's very hard to place this thing when you can't see. There we are. Oh, that's gonna be horrifying. Okay. Look at the size of that thing. It's just gorgeous, but also freaking massive. And I love that about it. Alright, then in prefabs, we have a series of additional little cabins. So like with the others, we have a large tugboat cabin here. We then have a tugboat lifted cabin, which is cool because you got the little, well, it's just taller. Beautiful. And then we have another small cabin, which is basically just the top bit of that slapped off, or cut off rather, and popped onto the ground. And then that is it for the metal prefabs. We then move to metal floors, which is quite cool because this gives you all the parts necessary to build a barge. So as you can see here, we have a barge left corner, and then if we pop that there, we then have a barge midsection, which as you can see doesn't have the rigging points along the side, and does snap together if I can actually get it to line up. It is a little bit finicky with the lining up at the moment, but again, it should snap if... oh boy, it's not wanting to cooperate now, is it? Lovely. Okay, of course. Then we have a barge mid-end, which, as you can see, has the rigging points just on the one side. There we are. Then the barge mid-side, so you could build along the side there. And then finally, a right corner. And all the parts you need, so you can use all of them in conjunction with one another to actually build yourself a custom-sized barge. Again, which should be snapping together, but it just does not seem to want to cooperate at the moment. But oh well, c'est la vie. And then next in metal, we go over to Miscellaneous, where we'll find a freaking crane, another freaking crane, and a flagpole. Now, we're actually going to build this flagpole and kind of bring it down a bit. It is quite tall, as you can see. We can build it, like, right there, and it goes up quite high. But if we grab it and make it a bit shorter, we'll need this for later, because there is another wonderful little addition to this mod, which, well, actually, we're getting into that now, because that is the end of the metal, because that was Miscellaneous. So now we move on to doors, where we have, well, really just a couple of doors. And here, the boat doors, which, as you can see, do clip into any of the boat door openings. And then, of course, two lovely workshop doors, which are made more for that, oh, I didn't actually build it, but that little boat house that we had earlier that you could build over there, they are designed for that, and that is all indoors. So then we move on to decorations, and then wall decorations. And this is why I built this flagpole here, because there are a series of new flags in this particular mod that are designed to go sideways. So rather than being built on a wall, as with the normal flags like so, we can actually build these on these flagpoles. Again, it's a little finicky to get them onto this thing, because, well, you are trying to get it onto a flagpole, but there we go, it's kind of in there correctly, and as you can see, it does flap in the wind, which is just, it's lovely, it makes me so happy. And the cool part is on the various boats that have masts, these should clip to the mast, though again, it might be a bit finicky to get it to the right point that you need, but nonetheless, you have flapping flags, which is just lovely. And you have them in a variety of, different flags. So we have the different faction flags, so whatever factions you're with, you have Brotherhood of Steel, Institute, Minutemen, and then we have a number of, say, museum banners that we can build here. Let's actually just, I guess, slap that onto there. They should go onto the flagpoles as well, but I'm not having a whole lot of luck with the attachment points right now, though probably because I have that other flag there. So we have a number of these banners, which are quite cool, and then a whole number of additional flags, like the new US flag, a Nuka Girl flag, a alternate Nuka Girl flag, I then have my railroad flag here, and then the classic Fallout US flag. Oh god, let's see if we can get this on this darn thing. I can usually get it up a little bit higher, but as I said, the attachment... Oh, there it is. That is the point I was trying to get, because that's actually really more where these flags are meant to be. The banners are more designed for this particular one, so if we just kind of set that in the ground, which is horrifying, quite frankly, we can then take one of these banners, and they're more designed to go on that cross-section that flag was on. Oh, there we go. Doesn't that look so much better? It actually goes across the crossbar of the mast, which is quite nice. So I do like that. It gives you a lot of whole different design possibilities for your flags, etc., especially if you put them in the ground like that, which is always cool. And then also under decorations in the miscellaneous category, well, we've got an anchor if you want to put an anchor on something. And then if we scroll through, we've got some buoys, both a red and a green one, a ceiling bell, which is a ceiling bell, and then some boat winches, a smaller boat winch. We have a fishing rod, so you can, pop that on the wall somewhere and, take it out fishing whenever you need. Not that it's actually a functioning fishing rod. Then we have a lovely life preserver here, which is always useful. A nice little lobster cage. Various lobster floats that you can populate around. We then, of course, have mooring anchors both without or with the ropes attached. And then, finally, we have this wall bell, which, there we go, we had it briefly. Excellent, a little wall bell on the tower. Always good to have. And yes, that is all the various parts for the boats mod. So we have a number of actual, factual, functioning, well, non-functioning, sorry about that confusion there, non-functioning boats. If only someone could make these actually work, that would be beautiful. But no, for now, they are purely decorative, and still, though, they make me happy, even if that one tugboat is inside of a tree. But yes, it's a whole lovely little bit. Oh god, I am kind of clipping there. I am not fitting. There we are, just jump over and we're in the building. Good, good. Now, one slight problem with these at the moment that cannot seem to be fixed until the official modding tools, the GEC, comes out, is that settlers do not like these things. So even if you build walkways between boats on the water, they do not like actually using them because a nav mesh cannot be produced for them quite yet. Once the GEC comes, that should be solved, hopefully. But until then, you just have a lot of nice boats and various boat parts that you can work with. And, well, frankly, who wouldn't want that? But yes, that is the boats mod, so if you'd like to try that out for yourself, you can take a look at the link in the description, as always, and I would definitely say to give it a go. It is pretty fun, especially if you do like trying to build on the water. It just gives you so many more fun new options, so definitely have some fun with it, and of course, I do hope that you've enjoyed this episode today and that you come back for the next, but until then, thank you for watching, and as always, my friends, have a good one!